Hi, I'm Ashley Judd, and I'm going to do a little live post from the airport. I'm traveling today, and this is the kind of thing to me that happens, which I categorize as everyday sexism, and it's so easy to let it go, not to speak up, particularly when it's so easy for someone to push back and say, oh, I was just being polite, or something like that. So I was coming through security, and a guy said, hey, sweetheart. And I said, I'm not your sweetheart, I am your client. So I was already setting a boundary. And then when I was setting my things out, he said, hey, nice dress. I didn't hear him saying anything about the attire of any of the other folks in the entire line. And I am in one of the most traveled airports in the world. I'm surrounded by lots and lots of other people in lots of different kinds of dress. I set my stuff on the doohickey, the doohickey that rolls. And I was speaking with one of his colleagues. She was saying, do you have on high-heeled shoes, whatever? And guess what happened next? He touched me. I didn't see him touch anybody else. And I turned around and I said, that was unnecessary. By the time, my skin is burning, my feet are burning, it's so hard to continue to set these boundaries when someone continues to push. And then for good measure, he just said one more time, have a good day, sweetheart. So I have plenty of time. I'm really early for my flight, and I caught my breath and I said my prayers, and my intention is to put principles above personalities. I'm not here to be controversial. I'm not here to be combative, but I asked for a manager, and I introduced myself, and I shook his hand, and I asked for his name, and I explained the situation, and I also explained that there were lots of other people who saw it. So that's my first Facebook Live post in real life. I've got my mouthpiece in, so if I look and sound funny, that's why, because I know that, then these things become all about other types of femaleness, appearance, and whatever. Anyway, thanks for listening. I can see your hearts and your thumbs up. Love you. Peace out. Hi again, everyone. This is Ashley Judd from one of the busiest and largest airports in the world. And I want to give a follow-up Facebook Live. Now, I've done 2 Facebook Lives after having done none before, about my experience with some everyday sexism. I'm very happy to report that the manager with whom I spoke immediately apologized, because I had a list of items to review with him, including being called sweetheart, after which I immediately said to the gentleman, I am not your sweetheart, I am your client. And when I explained that was item number 1 to the manager, he said, I apologize. And then I went through the other items, which you can see on the Facebook Live. Hey, somebody just said I'm awesome, peace back to you. I've never done this before, it's amazing, ciao. And he had a very long conversation with the employee, and he also assured me that their training, and everyone goes through the training uniformly, is to call people sir and madam, and that touching someone is totally inappropriate, and that he would be having a second and longer conversation with the gentleman in person when things were quieter. And he gave me 2 3-pound vouchers for coffee, which I thought was a very nice touch. And I also spoke with the manager about how our dream, our ideal, would have been that we would do this little Facebook Live post together, but because he was in uniform, he wasn't able to do that. And I think it's really important, if we're discussing a problem, also to highlight a solution, which is why I want to celebrate that manager. And I'm also, of course, going to fill in a form so that his manager knows what a great job he did hearing this complaint. And he also said something which I will not be able to duplicate as pithily as he put it, but he said something like, just because 99 people don't speak up doesn't mean it's okay. And the one person who does speak up is the person who can help employees realize that it is inappropriate to use that kind of language in the workplace. So thanks everybody for following. Y'all are so good to me, which I appreciate. Here's my friend Laura, we're traveling together, and you should see where we're sitting. We're literally squatting under some stairs because this airport is so busy. Okay, God bless. Bye for now.
Captain, a most curious development on scanner 5-7.
Let's all take a look at it, Mr. Spock.
Screen on, Captain.
I am a nasty woman. I'm not as nasty as a man who looks like he bathes in Cheeto dust. A man whose words are a diss track to America. Electoral college sanctioned hate speech contaminating this national anthem. I'm not as nasty as Confederate flags being tattooed across my city. Maybe the South actually is gonna rise again. Maybe for some, it never really fell. Blacks are still in shackles and graves just for being black. Slavery has been reinterpreted as the prison system in front of people who see melanin as animal skin. I am not as nasty as a swastika painted on a pride flag. And I didn't know devils could be resurrected, but I feel Hitler in these streets. A mustache traded for a toupee. Nazis renamed the cabinet electroconversion therapy, the new gas chamber, shaming the gay out of America, turning rainbows into suicide notes. I am not as nasty as racism, fraud, conflict of interest, homophobia, sexual assault, transphobia, white supremacy, misogyny, ignorance, white privilege. I'm not as nasty as using little girls like Pokemon before their bodies have even developed. I am not as nasty as your own daughter being your favorite sex symbol. Like your wet dreams infused with your own genes. But yeah, I'm a nasty woman. A loud, vulgar, proud woman. I'm not nasty like the combo of Trump and Pence being served up to me in my voting booth. I'm nasty like the battles my grandmothers fought to get me into that voting booth. I'm nasty like the fight for wage equality. Scarlett Johansson, why were the female actors paid less than half of what the male actors earned last year? See, even when we do go into higher paying jobs, our wages are still cut with blades sharpened by testosterone. Why is the work of a black woman and a Hispanic woman worth only 63 and 54 cents of a white man's privileged daughter? This is not a feminist myth. This is inequality. So we are not here to be debunked. We are here to be respected. We are here to be nasty. I'm nasty. Like my blood stains on my bed sheets, we don't actually choose if and when to have our periods.
Fire face.
Throwing away our favorite.
Check off. Take us out of orbit, warp factor 2, and hurry.